Hey guys, I'm back with another video, and when you look at World War II, you don't really see, you see all the countries on the list, but Spain, Spain is not on there. And as you can see, they're pretty close to Europe, being Spain, right? They're just south of France, and they're in Europe, and you can see Germany, UK up there, and all the other countries over there. So why was that? Why wasn't Spain in World War II? They were kind of, they were connected to Europe, and it'd seem that they'd probably be part of World War II, and would have fought. But the reason is a pretty good reason. So Spain was in the midst of a civil war with the nationalists fighting against the Republicans, and the nationalists ultimately won that war, and for some pretty good reasons, because Germany had been supplying them with planes, and also other help and stuff like that, for the nationalists of Spain. So Germany sold airplanes, probably most notably the MU-109 for Spain, and did have Luftwaffe pilots flying those fighters, and doing really well against the Republicans of Spain. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the Nationalist Air Force right now. So this airplane, first on the list, is the Heinkel HE 112B, and this was a single seat fighter. As you can see, it kind of looks similar to the Yak, as far as the canopy and stuff like that. Heinkel built this airplane, as I said before, and the most same people who built the Heinkel 111 medium bomber of the Luftwaffe that was used mostly in the Battle of Britain. And then this airplane up here is a Fiat G50. This is also a single seat fighter. And then this airplane was built by Italy, and Fiat, which most of you probably know is a car company. But during World War II, they also built airplanes in Italy. And you can see it has that black dot and the X on the rudder. And then this airplane up here is a Heinkel HS-123A. And this was a ground attack airplane. You couldn't really see it being a fighter during, kind of the early World War II, right before World War II, since it was kind of, that biplane, still in that biplane era. It was pretty outdated for a fighter by then. And then this airplane over here that you see here is a Fiat CR-32. This is a single seat fighter that was flew by the nationalists, and this one was pretty outdated. They didn't really use these too much, since it was kind of in that still in that biplane era of airplanes. And then this airplane right here, I'm sure most of you know, is the Messerschmitt Bf-109D. And then this was probably their most successful fighter, because when the Luftwaffe pilots flew it for nationalist Spain, they did tremendously well against the Republicans, shooting down a lot of airplanes. That was part of their Air Force. And then this airplane you see right here is a Heinkel 51C1, and this was this was a biplane too, and this was that ground attack, close air support class of airplanes. And then this one is a Heinkel HE-70F. This was a reconnaissance bomber during World War II, and as you can see, it's a single engine 2-seat plane, which was part of its reconnaissance and bombing role. And then, so now we're gonna take a look at the Spanish Republican Air Force, and they were pretty outdated. They didn't have the best kind of airplanes. They kind of had old airplanes, and most of their airplanes were imported from Russia. So we're gonna take a look at them now. And so this airplane right here is an I-16. This was imported from Russia, and then this airplane wasn't very good. It wasn't the best airplane. It was it was relatively slow, and it had short wings, so it didn't really have very good maneuverability over most of the other fighters during that time period. And then this airplane right here is a Grumman GE-23, and this was a two-seat reconnaissance fighter that was flown by Spain. As you can see that three-way color on the rudder, and that red stripe on the wing in the middle of the fuselage. And then this one, and then it was built by the Grumman Aircraft Company, who built a number of famous airplanes, such as, you know, the Bearcat, the Wildcat, the Hellcat, Tiger Cat, you know, all the cat airplanes. And then this one was, mostly used as a reconnaissance airplane, because it was being a biplane, it was pretty outdated by then. And this is another variant of the I-16. This is the Type 10, opposed to the Type 6 down here. And as you can see, it was an upgraded version, you know, with a bigger engine, but it in a closed canopy and a better gun sight. But it still didn't really make, you know, it still wasn't really the best fighter in that time period, even with these upgrades. And this airplane over here is a Bristol Bulldog. This was built by the Bristol Aircraft Company in Great Britain, who also built the Blenheim, which was a British bomber. And then this airplane is a Tupolev SB2, and this was a bomber. It kind of looks like a bomber. It looks like it would be a bomber too. And this was built by Russia as a Tupolev Aircraft Company. This was imported from Russia. And so ultimately, by then, Spain was still crippled after this civil war, and by the time World War II started, they were still recovering from this conflict, and Germany's Air Force had, you know, gained a lot of experience from this event, because a lot of their pilots became aces this time, and they were experienced, you know, compared to the Dutch and, you know, the French, in all those European countries. By the time they started to invade most of the countries, and their Air Force was, you know, well equipped with a lot of really good airplanes and pilots with a lot of experience from that conflict. So that is about it for this video. I'll see you in the next video. And thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe, like, and share with your friends and other history buffs that you know. So once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.